Hello everyone and welcome to Skincare with R.E.M. It is time to bash some celebrities, baby. Woo! Can I get a oh yeah? Oh, that motion is not the best for that. It seems like every single day there is a new celebrity skincare brand launch. All type of actors, singers, socialites are launching their own cosmetic brands, and I thought this was going to slow down a few years ago because if you don't remember, back in 2021, I made a video ranking all of these celebrity skincare brands, and I really thought I was just going to wash my hands clean of it and be done because there weren't going to be any more launches. Nay. There's been a lot more, and every time I go live on TikTok and you guys are commenting or I look through my comment sections, you guys are always asking what my thoughts and opinions are of these brands. And rather than doing individual videos for each of these brands, I figured let's lump them all together and rank all of the celebrity skincare brands that have launched over the past 4 years. And even in doing research for this video, I got some shady thoughts. So for this ranking, I'm going to arrange these brands into 3 different categories. The first and worst category, scandal. We all know a good celebrity scandal, and these brands are as scandalous as they come. Not great ingredients, overpriced, a cash grab, and definitely something I would never buy. The second and medium category is you're shelved. You know, in the celebrity world, sometimes a movie or album gets shelved. You were still able to, be a part of the experience, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really deliver. Same with the products. They're all right. You wouldn't mind having them on your shelf, but are you going to be reaching for them every day? No. And the third and best category, red carpet. These are the type of brands that you would want to use on your best, most important nights because the ingredients are good, the experience is lovely, the price point is great, and it seems like the celebrity is actually passionate about it. Per usual, all of the affiliate links for the products that I'm mentioning in today's video will be linked in the description box below, and let's jump into ranking every single celebrity skincare brand. Okay, so let's start with the first skincare brand that I think was actually like the first launched in this list. It's been a while, but it's the Outset, launched by the infamous Scarlett Johansson. I remember when this launched and they sent some products to me and I was like, what? Scarlett? You're a skincare girly? Who would have guessed? Not me. The Outset seems to present itself as a brand that's very minimalist, focused on clean ingredients, very clean girl aesthetic, but with a luxurious vibe. Let's look at their products. So right away, as I'm looking at the products, they do position themselves as a more high price point brand. They're not anything crazy, but $54 for a moisturizer is... It's pretty expensive, but I will say, having held the products myself, they do live up to the standard. They feel like a luxurious, high quality product, even though the packaging is pretty simple. It's, still feels luxurious. So let's look at the ingredients of the Restorative Niacinamide Night Cream. I am extra nosy when it comes to this because I have my own moisturizer that is focused on niacinamide as well. I want to see how the ingredients compare. Okay, so it has some good, simple, basic moisturizing and conditioning agents like caprylic triglyceride, cetyl alcohol. It has some intriguing oils like avocado oil, sunflower oil, and it's pretty much fragrance free. I mean, there are some citrus extracts in there, but there's no added fragrance. There's no essential oils or parfum. Great sign. Ooh, and I guess they have 100% mineral sunscreen SPF 30 that only uses zinc oxide. Love to see it. Pretty simple ingredient list. There are some good natural extracts in here. Very basic, but still a really good ingredient philosophy. Honestly, looking at the formulas for this brand, I do think that they are pretty much in line with my own and very much, I think, what is representative of a healthy, good quality skincare formula that is simplistic but still effective. There's not a lot of frills, no fragrance, nothing over the top, but still a good ingredient list. I'd say my biggest gripe is that the price point is pretty high. If I'm going to be paying $50+ for a moisturizer, I want it to feature really rare or unique ingredients that I'm not able to find in other skincare products, or different or individualistic in some way. Unfortunately, a lot of these ingredients and honestly kind of formulas you can easily find in much more affordable products, which is why I feel like the price point doesn't necessarily warrant the formulations themselves. So I would say this one is definitely overpriced, but at least they're still relatively good formulas. They're not going to overly irritate or damage your skin. I would say the Outset definitely falls smack dab in the your shelved category. It's nice to have on a cosmetic shelf. It looks great, but is it something you're necessarily going to use every day? I don't know, because it's too expensive to keep repurchasing. Okay, I'm acting like it's La Mer. It's not that expensive, but you know, it is luxury. Anyway, on to the next brand, which I literally had no idea existed until I was doing research for this video. Loved01, launched by the celebrity singer John Legend.
I love skincare. I've collaborated with skincare. Yeah.
I know. Did you guys know about this brand? I literally had no idea. I did not hear a single peep about this brand. Maybe I've just been under a rock, but let me know if you guys have heard of this one before, because it was a shock to me. Let's take a look. Okay, so it's a face and body brand. Gentle yet powerful care that transforms how you look and feel. They claim to be affordable. That's a great sign. Ooh, right off the bat, I'm seeing cleansing wipes. Don't love to see that. They have a brightening serum that's $29, so not a bad price point. Ooh. It does have rollerball packaging. And if you don't know the issue with rollerballs, as you're rolling it across your face, any bacteria, germs, or dirt that is present on your skin can be trapped in the packaging component itself and expose your formula to that bacteria and germs. Not the end of the world, but it's just not the best packaging type out there. Okay, so it has some good active ingredients. Mandelic acid. I mean, in my own serum from Selfless, we have a mandelic acid serum. I feel like it's one of the best exfoliating ingredients out there, so love to see that. Niacinamide, azelaic acid, love that. Oh, and it's fragrance free. That's great. Great ingredient list. For $29, I mean, not a terrible price point, besides the issue with the packaging, of course. Okay, so it looks like their product selection is pretty minimal when it comes to face products. I mean, there's like a toning mist and then like a face and body moisturizer for $12. Also, I have to say, like, maybe I need to do some research after this video and see if John Legend is like really actively a part of this brand, but I have never once seen any type of content featuring him talking about the products. I mean, I don't follow him, but I feel like I'm pretty deep in the skincare world to by now have seen at least something about his involvement with this brand. And I don't know, it just seems like a skincare brand doesn't really like fit his personal brand or make a lot of sense to me. Regardless, the ingredient lists are fine. It's a good price point, but I'm not fully convinced on it. I'm gonna put this in the category of you're shelved. I think she belongs there. Next up is Cay Skin by the gorgeous model Winnie Harlow. I'm a little familiar with this brand. I remember when she first launched it, but I have not tried the products, but I love the philosophy of it because it's primarily focused on like face and body sun care. I will always be happy to see new sunscreen innovations and formulas coming out onto the market because it just is the most important part of a skincare routine. And I think it works with her so perfectly because as someone who has both fair skin and deeper skin tones, it is important for her to, you know, be using proper sun protection as it is with all of us, which is why I think she really positions herself as unique and kind of perfect for this brand. But let me look at the products. So right off the bat, there's the award-winning Isle Glow Face Moisturizer SPF 45. It claims to be a hydrating gel cream for all skin tones, but looking at the ingredients, it is a chemical sunscreen, which I personally never recommend US chemical sunscreens because of how much they can sensitize the skin and conflicting data about their environmental impact. However, for people with darker skin tones, sometimes it's really the only option that they have, which is why I'll never like get in the way of someone wanting to use a sunscreen that is chemical based. But looking at the rest of the ingredients, it is packed with a bunch of antioxidant rich ingredients, so many cool fruit extracts. However, it does have fragrant essential oils, which I do not love, like bergamot and bitter flower oil. Sunscreen is definitely the product where you do not want to put citrus essential oils in. But let's look at their mineral sunscreen. It says it has a natural finish, no white cast, and sensitive skin face. Love to see it. Oh yeah, and looking at the ingredient list, I mean, it's only zinc oxide, it has soothing ingredients, it's fragrance free, and has some great natural extracts too. This is totally something that I would purchase and use on my face. And I mean, there's also body sunscreen sprays as well as sunscreen lip products. I mean, it is kind of meant to be a more simplistic brand because it is specifically focused on preventing sun damage. I really like the philosophy and the unique area and void it kind of fills in the market. I think Winnie Harlow is kind of like the perfect person to be able to rep this brand, and it's definitely intriguing. Do I stand by all the products? No, but do I appreciate the accessibility of them? Yes, absolutely. So I'll say that even though I kind of want to put this in premiere night, I'm just going to put it in your shelved because I'm not totally behind all the formulas, but I still do think that the brand is pretty great overall. And I'm excited to see what Winnie comes out with in the future. All right, next up, another brand that I literally had no idea existed either. either. Again, maybe I'm just out of the loop. You guys let me know in the comment section down below, but this one also genuinely took me by surprise. Black Mona Lisa Beauty by Billy Porter. Now, I have always appreciated Billy Porter. He's one of my favorite TV shows, Pose. I'm literally rewatching it right now. Definite fashion icon. Did I know he was into beauty? No, but kind of makes sense with his brand. Let's look at the products. So right off the bat, I love the positioning of the brand on their homepage saying beauty has no gender. I mean, that's definitely a tenet that Billy Porter has positioned himself on, really embracing all types of gender expression. And it says here that Black Mona Lisa is a celebration of individuality and self-expression. Inspired by Billy Porter's fearless spirit, we empower everyone to break beauty norms and embrace their true selves. Bold colors, high performance formulas, and unapologetic style beauty is yours to define. Love, but let's look at the products and ingredients. Woo! Okay, so right off the bat, these price points are crazy. There's a kale face cleanser for $43. Definitely very luxurious. I mean, that's more expensive than the Youth to People kale and green tea cleanser, which I consider to be like my favorite luxury cleanser, but it's very expensive. I mean, you know, it has like basic cleansing ingredients and some good natural extracts, but beyond that, it's a pretty simple formula. Like, nothing about this formula screams that it's worth the price point. Okay, so there's a niacinamide vitamin boost serum with a model applying the dropper directly to the skin. Man, the ingredient list is very simple. I mean, it basically is just glycerin, vitamin C, and niacinamide. Very simple formula, and honestly looks like it could be an ingredient list from The Ordinary. Choose your character. And also, I just gotta say with this brand, the packaging is very simple. When I say simple, I mean like The Ordinary level simple. Like, as someone who has my own brand, who has shopped amongst many different manufacturers and kind of knows the standard pricing for packaging like this, it's basically the cheapest type of packaging that you can get. Very simple, which is totally fine if you're a brand like The Ordinary or, you know, like a small startup. Packaging is very pricey, totally understandable. But for the price point that they're charging, along with how simple the ingredient lists are, I just don't think that the ends justify the means, especially with this being like a celebrity endorsed and involved brand. There is naturally like a higher expectation because this isn't just like a really small scale startup. This is a celebrity endorsing it with more funds available. All things considered, it should not be that expensive. There's nothing about these formulas that make them really uniquely stick out from any other brand. You can truthfully find a lot of these formulas in really affordable skincare products, and I'm just not sold on it. I'm sorry, I love the philosophy of the brand, but to be honest, Billy Porter, I expected more from you, so I'm gonna put this in Scandal. I think this brand is just not at all something I would recommend. Next up is a brand launched by someone who I love very much, I'm very passionate about. I do have to admit, her music has gotten me through some hard times. It is R.E.M. Beauty by Ariana Grande. I actually did not know that they have like skin specific products. For the longest time, I thought they were only color makeup focused products, but I believe they actually recently released some skin or face products, which I'm really interested in seeing what the ingredients are, what the philosophy is. Okay, so there's the Full Night's Sleep Cooling Blurring Under Eye Balm. Okay. About what I expected. Pretty simple ingredient list. Definitely more so focused on kind of like that smoothing, blurring effect rather than any like long-term skin benefits. There is like a soothing mushroom extract, which I like. There's also caffeine, which helps to awaken the eye area, reduce any puffiness. There's also Centella asiatica extract, but there's nothing about this product that makes me be like, ooh, yes, I need to buy. Okay, and then there's the Mist Thing Calming Face Mist. I am notorious for not being a fan of face mist. Okay, so it has glycerin and propanediol, great for hydrating the skin. It does have lavender oil as well as some fragrant components. It also has dyes. I mean, overall, this is kind of reminding me of like one of those products that gives you like a nice instantaneous effect, but again, doesn't do anything long-term for like improving the quality of your skin. Similar to a makeup product, this would just give you that effect for the day, but not really do anything more than that. And then there's the Essential Drip Lip Oil. I'm always on the hunt for new lip products. Same thing as the other products. Very simple ingredient list. Not really any standout ones that capture my attention. I feel like I kind of get the vibe of her brand. These are definitely products that just are kind of for fun, that give you a nice look, but don't really do anything more than that. And I feel like if I'm going to be spending my hard-earned money on a product, I would rather have it kind of do both. Give a nice instantaneous effect that complements makeup, but also has some really good skincare ingredients. And I'm just not seeing those amazing skincare ingredients in this. ingredients. I know they have some great color products. I've heard people rave about their makeup, and I love Ariana Grande, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put this brand in scandal. I'm sorry. I mean, I think they do have hope. I feel like they could totally release skincare products that could be intriguing and interesting, but as it stands with their current collection, not impressed. Next, I am really excited to talk about this brand. It is Personal Day by Lily Reinhart. If you don't know Lily Reinhart, she is most popular for her appearance in Riverdale, but her brand actually did not come as a surprise at all. I previously did a live stream session with her talking about skincare, and from what I've seen, she's always been pretty passionate about like cosmetics and skincare and getting into that space. So when she launched her own brand, I was not surprised, and they actually sent me some of the products. Initially, I was skeptical, I'll be honest. I was like, okay, here we go, another celebrity skincare brand launch. And when I got the products, I was actually very impressed by the formulas, the ingredient philosophy, the unique type of products that they have, and also with my experience, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but let's look at the products first. So right off the bat, looking at Personal Day, they're an ingredient focused skincare brand. They even utilize like an ingredient checker to help people who are shopping their products be able to better find which product is going to work for their skin, which I absolutely love. I mean, I'm all about education over here, but they're also very acne focused as well. And one thing I appreciate is that they do use like unique or lesser known ingredients to help target acne and breakouts, like for example, mevalonic acid, azelaic acid, hypochloric acid, and they seem to have like a big focus on sustainability and impact, which I love. One of the first things that intrigued me though is that they came out with a hypochlorous acid spray. And if you don't know hypochlorous acid, it's like the new trendy skincare ingredient that not a lot of brands offer, but it's amazing for reducing the bacteria that causes breakouts and acne in the face. I've actually used hypochlorous acid a lot. I love the Tower 28 serum. It was mentioned in one of my best serums of 2024 video. It's a great ingredient for sensitivity, redness, irritation, and breakouts. And they came out with not only their own spray, but also a face gel as well. Super unique, love it. But also looking at the ingredient list, I mean, even for this spray, super simple, no frills, fragrance-free, irritant-free, exactly what I want to see. But another cool product that they have is their resurfacing peel, which is like an exfoliating mask, but the ingredients they use are great because I feel like a lot of times when it comes to exfoliating masks, it a lot of times will just be like glycolic acid and salicylic acid. This one has mandelic acid, rice powder, lactic acid, beta glucan, and again, it's free of common irritants, fragrance, and essential oils. Very rare for an exfoliating face mask. But I also have to say, I did end up trying their products, and the one that I absolutely fell in love with was their lip balm. I have tried hundreds and hundreds of lip balms, and their emotional support lip balm by far is one of the best I have ever used. And apparently a lot of other people love it as well because it's sold out. I actually wanted to purchase more, but I guess I'm gonna have to wait. Regardless, really good formula. Actually, each of the products that I've tried from them are just exactly in line with my own ingredient philosophy, and I think great for anyone who has sensitive skin but still wants to get those active ingredients in. And one of the main things I appreciate from the brand is that the price point is good. Is it like the cheapest ever? No, but it's still like a fair price point that I think a lot of people are comfortable purchasing. $36 for an acne treatment, $38 for a moisturizer. Again, is it more on the luxury price point side? Yes, but I believe that that's a perfectly justifiable amount considering how good and unique the formulations are. So yeah, Lily Reinhart, amazing job. I think this is the first brand that deserves a spot in red carpet. Woo! I mean, when it comes to celebrity skincare brands, I feel like this is kind of like the perfect embodiment of what I look for and what I would not only be comfortable recommending on my channel, but also comfortable purchasing from. And I'm going to be waiting for when that lip balm comes back in stock because I'll be the first in line to buy it. Next up is a brand that is arguably the most famous on this list and actually just recently sold for a whopping $1 billion. Billion with a B. And that is the iconic Rhode by Hailey Bieber. Of course, I have to say I was one of the first people to try out this brand before it launched. I actually filmed a few videos with Hailey Bieber exploring the products, talking about them, trying them out for the first time. And to this day, I maintain that I feel like Rhode did it perfectly. If there's a road for celebrities to follow when it comes to launching their own cosmetics brand, follow Hailey Bieber. She did it right. Not only did she work with some of the industry's top dermatologists and cosmetic formulators to develop these products, the actual philosophy of the formulas is amazing. High performing ingredients, really unique products that you don't see a lot. No fragrance, no added irritants, unique packaging, great price point. I really feel like she hit the nail on the head and it paid off. I mean, geez, the fact that they sold for $1 billion literally like 3 years after they launched. Crazy. But let's look at the products. One of the first products that impressed me from Rhode is their peptide glazing fluid. I mean, the reality is peptides are expensive. They're oftentimes formulated into very high price point products, which is why I appreciate that this is a lower price point, but it also has really unique ingredients like marula oil. It has a unique consistency, but you look at the ingredient list and it's still simple. It's not overly excessive. It's not like they're throwing in a ton of ingredients to just unnecessarily load up the product, and it's free of common irritants, fragrance, essential oils, drying alcohols for a good fair price point. There's also the Barrier Butter Intensive Moisture Balm, which has such a cool ingredient list. I mean, it has polyglutamic acid, which is super good for skin hydration. It has muru muru butter, which is actually an ingredient that I use in my own moisturizer and I very rarely see in the industry. Super good for deeply moisturizing the skin without feeling too heavy. And of course, I have to mention one of my personal favorite products from the brand, the Peptide Lip Balm. I mean, there's a reason why it is so popular. I have always loved it. I actually need to purchase more as well. Remind me to do that later in the comment section. I keep forgetting. I mean, yeah, Rhode checks all the boxes of exactly what a celebrity skincare brand should be. It matches perfectly with her personal branding, and of course, a really good price point. So for that reason, I will put Rhode in the red carpet category. I think she did an awesome job, and congratulations, Hailey Bieber, for your recent success with selling the brand. And then finally, we gotta talk about this one, POV Beauty by Michaela Noguera. I understand she's not a conventional celebrity, but let's be honest, guys, she has taken over beauty TikTok. She's basically a celebrity within her own right. And a lot of people have been asking about my opinions on POV Beauty. Let's take a look. So I was actually surprised that she came out with skincare products. I fully anticipated that her products were only going to be makeup based, but looking at them, the products themselves seem to be focused on skin prep. So kind of similar to what was present with R.E.M. Beauty, Ariana Grande's brand. This kind of gives the same vibe, but at the same time, it is also being marketed and promoted as like an actual full skincare routine. It says dermatologist tested, suitable for sensitive skin, and made in Korea. You already know, I love Korean skincare products. I think they're great, but let's see how these ingredients compare to like actual Korean owned brands. Okay, so there's the Drench It Soothing Priming Milk, which apparently is award winning. I had no idea. I mean, right off the bat, looking at the ingredient list, it is stacked. There are a lot of ingredients in this formula, but there is a rice ferment filtrate as the very first ingredient before even water, so great sign. It has peptides, soybean, ginseng, lots of ferments, allantoin, olive oil. I mean, looking at this alone, does this have a lot of ingredients? Absolutely. I do think that it is pretty jam-packed with a lot, and when it comes to the conversation around skincare, like a lot of people think that when it comes to good ingredients, the more the merrier, but oftentimes when you are overloading a product with a lot of ingredients, it can increase the risk of sensitivity and irritation, because the more ingredients are in a product, the higher probability and chance you will be exposed to something that irritates or sensitizes your skin. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something to be aware of, because I'm always in the camp of using good ingredients, but not using formulas that have a ton of them just to reduce that risk. But let's keep looking at the products. Okay, so there's also the Drip It Nourishing Glow Serum, and it has ingredients like niacinamide, glycerin, good basic ones. It has some fruit extract, rice extract, kind of similar to what we were seeing in the previous product, but I would guess this has a little bit like more of a nourishing base, obviously because it's a serum. Good ingredients, but not necessarily a formula that would make me go like, wow, I need this in my routine now. And then there's the Whip It I'm sorry, that name. I just can't help but think of the other kind. Hydrating Whipped Cream. Intense yet lightweight skin barrier support that imparts deep hydration and glowing healthy skin. Basic moisturizing ingredients. I mean, like sunflower seed oil, shea butter, great ingredients, and similarly has ferment extract. Again, good ingredients, but not necessarily anything that makes me go like, wow, I need to buy this. Especially considering that these formulas were made in Korea. It does leave me wanting a little bit more, because a lot of these ingredients you can find in Korean skincare products that are a lot cheaper than these ones. Because looking at these these products, they range from like the $28 to $36 price point, which isn't a terrible price point, but definitely not cheap. Am I holding these products to a higher standard? Yes, primarily because they are formulated in Korea with some of the biggest range of incredible ingredients to select from. A lot of these ingredients are kind of more standard or more common with what you would find in more basic Korean skincare formulas, or at the very minimum ones that are a lot cheaper. Also to mention, the packaging is a little bit simple, and look, I'm not big on packaging. I'm all about the formula, and packaging doesn't matter as much to me until you're getting to more higher price point products, or the packaging looks reminiscent of what I have seen when working with manufacturers and seeing what type of packaging costs very little versus what type of packaging costs a lot. And I would venture to guess that this type of packaging, at least from what it looks like, is on the lower priced side. Obviously pure speculation, and like I said before, I do hold these products to a higher standard just because of where they are formulated and just the amount of resources that they have in Korea for ingredients to formulate with versus what is kind of standardly available here in the US. I will admit, I haven't tried these products. They might be life-changing, they might be really good formulas, but looking at the ingredient list in comparison to the price point versus what I usually see with Korean skincare products, I would say that for me, this brand fits into the shelved category. Like good formulas, but not necessarily the best for all the factors that I was just talking about. Obviously, I think there's value with simple, effective formulas. I am all about that, but I think with the amount of ingredients being used, how common those ingredients are to find in Korea, along with the higher price point and limited range, but I'll give her a pass on that because she recently launched it. Yeah, it's good, but I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like running out to buy these products to try for myself in the same way that I feel the interest for brands like Personal Day or Rhode. Now I have to share my final thoughts because when it comes to this conversation around celebrity skincare brands and feeling like so many different celebrities are launching their own skincare brands, as well as seeing so many different products, the ingredient lists, and the approach to marketing and promoting these brands, I kind of gotta say that in general, the more celebrity skincare brands I am exposed to, the less I am inspired by the actual formulas themselves, because it seems to be like there's kind of a repetition to a lot of brands I've noticed. I'm so glad that when it comes to a lot of these brands, we are no longer in the days of, say, when Cay Skin was launched, when it was like apricot scrubs and tons of fragrance and irritants and all that kind of stuff. It does thankfully seem like we're out of that, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily noticing like a lot of innovation that would warrant launching a new brand. As a brand founder myself that wanted to launch my brand primarily for the social good that it generates, but also for the formulations themselves, we really worked hard to find ingredients that are not only unique, but also unique in like the sourcing process, how they're obtained. Whether it's maracuja oil that's sourced from the waste of the juicing industry, and that byproduct is used as a really beneficial skincare ingredient for helping support your skin's barrier. Rainbow algae that's sustainably sourced from the shores of France that helps to brighten any appearance of hyperpigmentation or dark spots. I feel like as a brand founder myself and knowing that process, it does make looking at these other brands and trying to find where the innovation is a little bit lackluster for a lot of them. Even if there is a lack of innovation in the types of ingredients that are being used, there's also like a lack of information about like how these ingredients are sourced, how their specific formula is different from any other serum or moisturizer on the market. And I get it, the cosmetics industry is a really competitive space, and of course there are so many products that do similar things, but I feel like if you are going to launch a brand and products, there needs to be some really unique aspect of it that can't be replicated or found in another brand. It shouldn't just be about using good skincare ingredients and making a good formula. I think there does need to be more innovation, and I just don't see that a lot when it comes to celebrity skincare brands. And I'm not going to say that certain ones are a cash grab and other ones are not, because at the end of the day, I was not in the boardrooms, I wasn't a part of the creation process. I don't know what their mindset is behind making a lot of these products. However, I do feel like an ingredient list does tell a lot of the story, and for a lot of these brands, I just don't find anything that makes it truly unique that would make me incentivized to want to purchase their products over any other products that you can find at the drugstore or at an Ulta or Sephora. And truthfully, I think the hype around celebrity skincare brands is starting to die down. Actually, in researching this video, I did find a lot of celebrity brands that were closed within like 1 to 2 years of launching, which I think represents overall consumer fatigue with just the endless amount of options and how many similar formulas there are available for us to buy at any second. But yeah, I think in the future, if more celebrities start to release more skincare brands, I just really hope that they can strive to find some type of innovation and unique uniqueness and void that they can fill in the market, rather than just launching a brand that has a good product, a good ingredient list, a great formula, but not much more than that. You feel me? I don't know, maybe I'm biased and it's hypocritical for me to say as a brand owner myself, but I feel like given my experience and working in the industry and understanding the process of ingredient selection and sourcing, formulation, and everything else, looking at these products makes me just want more. I feel like it all kind of starts to blur together. And even if I, as a product reviewer and skincare content creator, can't find a reason to be interested in these products, what's gonna make you guys interested in it? I don't know, those are my opinions, but I wanna hear your guys' thoughts. Do you agree with me? Have you tried any of the products from these brands? I would really be interested to know, because obviously your firsthand experience is going to be most important. If you want more ranking videos like this in the future, please comment down below. I always have fun making these. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.